Hi there! Welcome to the Gardens and Graveyard channel. Today I'm in the backyard and we have a bunch of little seedlings still. We have so many seedlings to get out into the garden, and I just want to do a little project with the I don't know what they're, rail baskets, I guess, fence baskets that have pansies in them or violas in them now. I want to add more violas. I want to add creeping Jenny, and I'm going to try some Snapdragons and see how they do. And then over in my butterfly garden right there, I want to add a hedge of purple alyssum and a Vermillionare that I picked up. So let me turn the camera around. I'll show you what we're working with, and then we'll just get into the project. So we're slowly but surely chipping away. You could see the floor of the greenhouse now, which is awesome. And I can pick up quite a few of these things and put them on this table after today. So I have these gorgeous violas. This is it's a pansy rather, historic florist mix. Look at this slug in there. Gah. All right, so that tells me I need to treat this with slug stuff. Okay, so I have these and they're gorgeous. I also have all this purple alyssum that's blooming here and here. I planted a whole bunch of it thinking that I would need a lot more for this border. I did a full border all the way around this bed, and we just planted them out not too long ago, and you can see they're already starting to spread. They will touch. So I don't need as many, and so what I'd like to do is just take all of these and put them in the ground somewhere. I'm going to add these to the violas that we have, and I have like these random tiny Snapdragons, and they're tiny because look at these little cells they're in. Are you kidding? How are they supposed to live like this? So and they just dry out super fast because I can't keep them moist enough, and these small cells full of roots. So I also have a ton of Snapdragons here and a ton of very healthy, beautiful Snapdragons here. So for my trial, I figured I'll just at least try these little baby Snapdragons, because it's, I want to say it's part sun over where we're going to plant these pansies. And then we have this Vermillionare, which is looking gorgeous, and I want to put it in the pollinator garden. So that's what we're working with today. I'm going to go ahead and take these out to the space that we're going, and we'll get started. I'm also going to grab one of these creeping Jenny containers that have been in here for quite some time. They trailed over and made this ground cover happen. But I would like to split these up and put them in with the pansies as well. And I'm seeing there's a fuchsia in there and a viola. We don't need those, but I do want to divide this one up and give those containers a little trailing element. All right, so what we're working with here is I've got these antique shades violas that we planted last year, and they wintered over and they've been blooming for weeks. So, but they're also a little spindly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them back and see what spaces that we have in this container and in this container. You can see this one gets more sun and it's blooming so much more. It mostly gets sun from that direction. It's shady in the morning, and then by afternoon when the sun's over here, so all the faces are facing that direction, which is fine because it's where I see it mostly from that side of my garden. But again, we'll just find little pockets and plant the other violas or pansies in there. And then we'll also plant this basket up with these pansies. I think I'll probably start, well, let me clean these up and see what we got going on. And then we've got the little bit of Snapdragons and the creeping Jenny. And I will refresh what's in there, the soil that's in there, with some biotone or plant tone today. Yeah, this area to plant is a little tricky because I gotta be up on my tippy toes. Maybe I'll grab a ladder just to make it easy for myself this year. I think maybe I'll do that. I'm gonna grab a little step stool, and we'll let you watch this project from this vantage point, and I'll stand behind there and get these guys all planted up. Fun. I got my stool. Lots of leaf and pine debris from the overhead tree. Okay. So, well, I'm gonna divide this guy up, and so see what it looks like. Oh, that's easy enough. Great. I just want to take some clumps off of here, if I can. And and then we'll just plant these. Just take this one off. I'll plant this one on the back side. Oops. Okay. Looks good. Plant them. Okay. All right, I'm gonna put, like, I don't know. Let's try 5 Snapdragons. Did I say 5? 1. Are they 1, 2, 3? 4. Here, here, and here. Yikes, look at that root system. Okay, so that. We can move into the next container. I actually think I'm gonna move into that container next, since all my plants and everything are over here. So this will be the last year of this coconut core. Add a little soil, compost. To back here. I want you to be able to see kind of the idea before I cut these all down, because I know like these are so floppy, but if I cut them all down to their first set of leaves and remove all their blooms right now, they'll flush back and be amazing. But I really wanted you to see the different colors together. See, they reflect each other so beautifully, because they all have like a variation of colors. Like this one is a little bit more purple and pink and yellow. So you can see there's just like a whole gamut of kind of moody mix colors. They're kind of a muted, darker aesthetic than the bright colors that we have everywhere else this year. And then these are just the creeping jennies will, okay. There's just so much. These creeping jennies will do fantastic. So I just put 2 here and 1 on the back side. And this, after I trim it back, this is gonna be more like what we're looking at. And even these, I could do a little trimming on the new pansies just to encourage stockier growth, like how this one's like curled down. If I just pinch it down, then that will be a nice strong stalk. Anyways, I just need to kind of play with it. And then we've got this one back there, and they're just all the one style of pansy, the florist mix. And these are florist mix because you could see how long the stem is. And if I were to cut this off, which I could do right now, that is long enough to stick in a small vase, which is so fun. I am going to be treating these. I have to water them all in, and then I will treat them with slug and bug killer, which is this stuff right here. And this one is effective for slugs, snails, and other listed insects, but that also includes cutworms and earwig. And that is my problem here, is I definitely have some earwig, and I know that because, see, I might have taken them all off already. Have any still on there? They get like, oh, there we go. So if you can see, let me set this down. You can see this notching. Actually, that kind of looks like more like slug. Try to see if I could see any other ones. They end up getting like these little ragged edges when the earwigs get to them. Anyway, I'm gonna clean these guys up, which basically means I'm gonna sacrifice all the blooms, and then we'll get them watered in, and we'll put slug and bug on them, and then we'll move into the next project. Now that those are all watered in and planted, I have to look for a basket liner for that hanging basket, but we have enough pansies to put in that hanging basket, which would be really fun. When the soil dries out a little bit, I will put the slug and bug killer on it because they're pellets, and if they get wet, they just swell up and they don't work anymore. So I'll make sure I do that, but I'm just gonna leave the container out here so it bugs me and I'll remember to do it later. Let's go ahead and get those alyssum and the Vermillionare planted. Maybe I should have started on this project here because now I'm in full sun and it's warm. That's okay. It shouldn't take too long. So we have some of the alyssum here in this container with the pansies that we were just working on. So I'm going to start with those and then we'll grab the other ones. What I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna rake the mulch back just a little bit because they're very shallow and we're gonna plant them right in the mulch. But I just wanna kind of create like a little ditch to lay them all in and get them planted. They don't look like a whole lot right now. Look at that tiny one. But I know they're gonna look amazing pretty quickly. So I'm gonna get the Vermillionare planted right over there. So let's go ahead and get that done. All right, I just have one more tiny plant project that I want to do with the rest of the plants that were in that flat with the alyssum, so I can get rid of that flat and know that these little tiny babies have somewhere to live. So they're baskets of gold. They're basically like an alyssum, but they're golden color. I mean, I think they're a hardier perennial. They grow really well with Lithidora. They have that same kind of woody growth habit, low growing ground cover, ground cover growth habit. But I don't have a specific area for them yet. So I planted out a few in a tiny little urn, and I'm gonna just do the same with these in another little urn, and they could just be like little baskets of gold urn matching things this year. All right, found myself a little shady corner to finish this project. I just brought my little urn over here, and we're just gonna get these baskets of golds planted. Could each one of these be individual plants? Yes, absolutely. But since I don't know where they're gonna go, I'm just gonna grow them as one big plant. These do want full sun, so we will move this urn out into the sun. Recently planted this urn with baskets of gold, just in existing soil, so it's not done quite as well, but I put the other one right over there. And I do have some risers that I want to put these on, but I needed to prioritize just getting these little babies in some soil. Alright, that is it for today's video. We've got pansies, we've got alyssum, and we've got a basket of gold. And I'm super excited to get all those little teeny tiny cell packs planted out into the garden and out of the greenhouse. We're just chipping away. We've got about half a dozen pansies left to put into that little hanging basket, which as soon as I find a little basket to put in there, I'll do that. Oh, and we even got a few snapdragons, little tiny baby snapdragons planted. We'll see if they do well there or not, but at least we're trying, and at least they have a better success rate out there than they do in tiny cells in the greenhouse. So anyway, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're celebrating your life and you're having a great day. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.